What's going on, champs and jambets? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, we'll be going through everything that was added, changed, stuff that Epic Games doesn't even want you to know about, with the most recent hotfix update to the game that actually enabled the Season 6 content, as you can see right now by us being on the floating Kevin Island, into the whole entire world of everything. Now, something very interesting kind of mentioned about this hotfix is a few things. Firstly, it appears there's a weird glitch going on where your sound's just like heavily muted. I mean, you know, I can swing my pickaxes and stuff, I can go ahead and throw this down, but it's very quiet. Like if I throw it on myself, can I hear the— oh, I'm in a bush, so it didn't actually do anything. If I do an emote, can I at least hear the emote very well? It's like very quiet in a way. I don't know how to really explain it. I've even turned the sound settings of my game up and everything, but the game is just somehow a lot quieter with this whole entire hotfix update. I don't know if that's just a bug on my computer or what, but even like going in the battle bus when I started recording this match, it just didn't make any sound at all. There was no battle bus honk or anything like that, so you know, it appears there's some weird audio issues going on with the whole entire update today. But of course, on top of the audio issues, we have a lot of changes here and there to new weapons, new areas kind of getting modified, you know, mainly the middle of the map being modified, so this is where we're at right now, and even some things that they vaulted but didn't tell us they were going to vault. And I know that sounds a little odd. It's like, what do you mean they vaulted content? Well, of course, you know, as we continue going throughout the seasons and everything, some items in future seasons weren't always enabled in the other seasons, you know, previously or whatever else, so they have to mix up the loot pool basically every single week and keep it fresh as you continue going through and as you continue figuring out, you know, how you're going to handle all the new content and without having like a bloat of everything enabled at once. So to start off today's video, I want to actually talk about everything that got removed. Removed from the update today was the heavy shotgun, which was something I wasn't really expecting, but you know, it's whatever. I practically only use a tactical shotgun, so you know, it's fine with me. We have the burst assault rifle, which got disabled. We have the impulse grenades, which got disabled. The portafort has been disabled. Smoke bombs have been disabled, and remote explosives, aka C4, has also been disabled from the loot pool. Definitely an interesting selection of items for everyone to kind of see get disabled and everything, but you know, I think it's kind of understandable because a lot of things like portafort, we got different variants of this update, such as the portafortress, which is a lot more massive. Things like, you know, for example, like the impulse grenades, we got the shockwave grenades this update and stuff like that, and for like the burst assault rifle, now we have the heavy assault rifle enabled in the game, kind of mixing up the loot pool while also, you know, replacing everything with a slight equivalent. You know, you can figure out if they're better, if they're worse, whatever else, but it is one of the things to keep in mind. Now, regarding added content, we have your standard, you know, 6-shooter weapon, the double barrel shotgun, the heavy assault rifle, shockwave grenades and portafortresses, like I had already mentioned, dynamite, which basically is a replacement for remote explosives. We have the clinger, we have chiller traps, mounted turret traps, only enabled in building enabled modes. We have the quad crasher and the drift board all being enabled as well, but we have another item that wasn't really a OG item that got enabled, which is the grapple gloves. Now, the grapple gloves is a little bit glitched right now in terms of how it's actually working in the game, and instead of being something that you could only find very rarely, considering it wasn't an actual Fortnite OG item at all, and that's from an actual future chapter, it's something that accidentally got enabled in supply drops, which is why we're going to be going over here where a supply drop is, to see how many grapple gloves we potentially get. This item was only supposed to drop from Rift encounters, with the brand new Big Gains Rift encounter that was enabled this update, so you know, something that wouldn't be too common, you wouldn't find a million of them in game, but would still allow to kind of mix up the gameplay of OG Fortnite with future chapter items. And as we can see right here, boom, right away we got grapple gloves. This is something that was not enabled in Fortnite OG, but you know, we're able to use it. And we also have the heavy shotgun still in supply drops, so they definitely have some little supply drop issues going on here and there, considering everything's just kind of bugged. On top of all these changes, something else I should mention is that if you're someone who keeps up with the Fortnite lore, you may remember the Salone voice logs, or I guess, you know, audio logs you're able to find in game. There's only one per week that you're able to find. Where is my sound? I can't even really like hear the hit sounds. Like I'm actually about to go to my settings, crank everything up to the maximum just to at least hear the sound of me shooting enemies. This is so weird to me. But you know, it's like I was saying though, with the whole entire voice lines and everything in the game, we had one set of audio logs releasing each week, which was basically just one interactable area on the map where you go over to it, you go ahead and, you know, select it, and then you hear Sloan talking to Agent Jones about the whole entire plan they've got going on. It appears that if you're someone who never collected week week 1's audio log, you're out of luck. You're unable to collect week 1 ever again, and week 2 has been enabled, meaning that these audio logs are playing into the whole entire theme of we're going back in time to the old version of Fortnite, and these are different loops or iterations of the chapter 1 Fortnite OG map and everything, with previous week's audio logs not being available because we're not in the season where that audio log was technically taking place in anymore. So yeah, you know, we don't know if there's going to be like a bonus reward for collecting all 4 weeks of audio logs, but that is something to keep in mind. If you've already collected week 1, you should be good to continue onwards and everything else. If you never collected week 1, you should be able to still collect week 2, but it could potentially lead to us seeing more and more info in the future regarding, hey, you know, like we've seen before, we got like a free loading screen for collecting all of them, maybe you get a free loading screen for collecting all the audio logs this time around, even though they didn't let people know beforehand, you only got a week to collect this audio log. Afterwards, it's gonna get yoinked out of there, and it'll be an exclusive thing where it's like you have to look up leaks or whatever else, or videos on the topic, in order to see all the previous weeks of Sloane's dialogue. Now, one question I'd kind of seen on Twitter as well regarding the whole entire update is something regarding ATKs and not ATKs and quad crashers, but ATKs and shopping carts, because of the whole entire fact that when the update first came out, it mentioned that they would be going away with this hotfix update. And I'm glad to say that they later on actually replaced the newsfeed by changing it from, oh, it'll be leaving today to it will be staying for the entirety of the season. So if you're someone who wanted the mobility, you wanted the vehicles to stick around or whatever else, you have nothing to worry about, because the vehicles will indeed be sticking around and you will be able to enjoy them for as long as the season goes on, right? Until the launch of Chapter 5, you will be able to use shopping carts in-game, you'll be able to use ATKs in-game, and you have nothing to really worry about in that genre. But, you know, that is something I knew people were going to ask about and everything else. But yeah, in terms of everything going on, we had some changes over there, you know, with the giant floating island. Dusty Divot is also turning into more of like the whole entire building the rocket crane machine area, which I guess we can try going over there real quickly. And it just seems to be, you know, in general, a lot of little changes here and there towards how the whole entire island is going to be updated and everything else. A lot of items that even if we don't know that they're going to get vaulted, will get vaulted with each week, because, you know, they have to try sticking somewhat more true to the fashion of this item didn't exist in this specific season, while also at the same time making sure that the game is balanced properly and all that type of stuff. Who knows what they're going to be vaulting or unvaulting next, right? It's only really a matter of time, because they only really highlight the main things that they're adding in the official blog post. But as we go over here, you can kind of see the whole entire build up for the live event at the end of the season, with Dusty Divot turning into the whole entire like rocket crane machine building area. I mean, even if we go over here, right, you can't really see too much going on. I don't think the building inside has too much tech yet. Yeah, it doesn't really have too much tech, but we do have the whole entire downwards area building up and preparing for the rocket to actually take place. And as each week goes by, this area will get more and more constructed around, hey, look, we're building a rocket, boys, are blasting the time machine off into space. But until next time, hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's video. Hope it was informative and told you about everything that was added, removed, in between, you know, future chapter items being re-enabled, little bugs here and there regarding items that technically shouldn't be properly enabled the way they are right now, but are in a way, and how everything's going to be taking effect in the near future. So until next time, I'll catch you champs and champettes a little bit later. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and peace out.